Hey everyone, this side Aarti, founder of Diva Planet magazine, and we are again here with our second episode of Her Story, Her Glory. And in this episode, we have invited Miss Prajakta Rawat, an assistant professor in English, and she is a professor in Abhinav Degree College, Maharashtra. She is an innovative educator, a fashion enthusiast, and her teaching really made an impact on the lives of the students. So let's catch up with our new guest. Welcome to our new episode, Prajakta ma'am. And
Thank you, ma'am.
please tell to our viewers about your professional journey, how it
Yes,
started,
ma'am.
right?
My professional journey, ma'am, it is just like a marathon. As you are aware of the fact that life is a marathon and success comes a long way. There is no shortcut to success. Shortcut will only cut us short. Being a futuristic person, right from the very beginning, also that is, I mean, I always used to feel that whatever knowledge means, I had that innate just to absorb more and more knowledge, and there was no other alternative for that sake. I felt like teaching, because I will not just be what we say expanding the horizons of my knowledge, but I will also be imparting my knowledge to others, and that way I will also be able to make future generation. So because of that, I start to be very frank, after I completed my graduation, earlier I felt that I should better be teaching in school, but literally I did my B.Ed also, Bachelor of Education, 1 year course, and there when I start giving practice teaching lessons, I got to know that, oh, to be very frank, actually means we fail and but again we arise. Same was the
Right.
case with me also. When I start giving practice teaching lessons, I was literally given students who were actually around 10, 11, 12 years old, like 5th, 6th, 7th standard. And to be very frank, I was literally finding difficult to scale down and reach to their level. And this was my failure. But what is our failure ultimately? But just time's evidence to make things for the fullness of the day. But and so that way I felt that okay, I am not made for all that, so I started again teaching advanced classes, like junior college I started with Shankar
Mhm.
Narayan Junior College, I will say, after completing my B.Ed. But again the same problem I was facing, like dealing with adolescents, because that to be very frank, this age, it is full of confusion, it is the age of stress and strain. So ultimately, finally, that principal of the concerned college only told me, ma'am, you are not made for this junior college. You Why don't you upgrade yourself, you complete your post graduation, and then get to net set tomorrow. Madam, see, don't take me other way around. You are not made for actually junior college or school. That doesn't mean that what we say you are totally deficient.
Mhm.
And then he only told me to complete my post graduation in English literature. So in 2004 I completed my post graduation. And then again I recollect his words. If you have to sustain into this teaching profession or at degree level, university level, you are supposed to get through net set. So then
Mhm.
what I did was that even when I had got 59.80, something almost first class I had got, but still I prefer to work on CHB. That time 84 rupees per lecture I was getting paid. But still what I took it like that, in order to survive in teaching profession, actually, you should not just be floating like anything. One should make himself or herself eligible. So then started my journey of cracking NET eligibility test and state eligibility test, and being norm achievement test, as you are aware of, that you have to one needs to perform better than others. Means a person scoring more out of 100, 99% does not mean that he will be selected. There could be some people like who might have got 99.27, 99.28. So 7 times I appeared for that examination in order to get selected. 4 times net and 3 times set. And then, ma'am, on 13th of what we say on 13th of August 2006, I gave my last set, and I literally lost my hopes. But finally, everyone is having in life is having his or her own time, and my time came, and finally in November 2006, I checked my results and I found myself to have cracked it. But still, ma'am, nowadays what is happening is that in academics or getting government job, it is again, ma'am, too many technical glitches are coming. So, ma'am, getting government job or government aided position, at university level or at degree college level, it was not that easy for me again. Again, ma'am, there has been too much tie-up because there could be the people who might have been eligible much before me. So
Right.
again, I
So,
had to face, yes, exactly. I had
uh,
to face 13 panel interviews, and in my 13th attempt, I got into my Abhinav college, which was finally made by me, made by Almighty God for me.
so like you
Exactly.
that you failed almost 6 times and you almost lose your hope, right? So what was your mantra? What was your thinking when you are into the process? What was the mantra of your success? Like today students are failing that success mantra, they are like giving up so easily in first second attempt, particularly in a government job. So what was your mantra basically? What was your thing?
I will say I will just say that, I mean, for that sake, I mean, that is, you see, success comes a long way. Go on, keep on and on striving and striving. Work hard and hard. So passion, perseverance, and perspiration. These three are my success mantras, I will say.
So
Because see, there is no substitute for hard work ultimately.
right, right. So what you feel like today's students where they are lacking, like why they are like so much in hurry to get that success, like why they are not
Because for,
wait for it. So what you think as a teacher?
I personally feel that that way, that is, ma'am, for them, life is just like instant coffee.
Right,
That is
right.
what I will be saying, that, and they want everything immediate.
Hmm.
With that, you will never get, because success ultimately, it comes a long way,
Right,
and there
right.
is no shortcut to success. So I personally feel that, I mean, may you fail and fail, ultimately your time will be coming. Your destined hour, unless and until your destined hour does not come, you will not be able to attain what you want. But ultimately, everything in life is having its own time. So apart from passion, perseverance, perspiration, I will say one more P for me, that will be patience. That is
Right. That's
paramount in life.
very important. Very true. So like can you elaborate over not to treat a beaten path for students? Can you elaborate on that also?
Yes, definitely. Not to take a beaten path, in the sense, actually, not to stick to stereotypes. To be
Mm-hmm.
very frank, actually, means, even when I mean, that is a, I would like to commence with myself only. When I
Mm-hmm.
prefer to just take this teaching profession and all that. The people always used to feel like that. Oh, teaching profession is like, they were having those typical stereotypes. वो सबको पढ़ाता ही है. I personally feel like, why should we be clear, sticking to the stereotypes actually, and why one should always be superimposing his or her thoughts upon others. We can even give space to others also, no? Because ultimately teaching is not actually, what we say, I mean, tantamount to learning. It's a bipolar process. So why we should always be speaking and speaking? That was the first beaten path, I will say. Miss, typical stereotype that people are having, a टीचर या ऐसा ही पर्सन है, वो खाली बोलता है. But at
Hmm.
times we can also be actually good listeners too, na? We
Right,
can
right.
always actually give space to even students' viewpoint. And why should we feel inferior that way? I will say, I mean, to learn certain things even from students.
Hmm.
That is what, why to take this beaten path in teaching also. खाली जाके बोलने का और बकने का. Why should we be that way? We can even respect students' standpoint also. Secondly, the second stereotype which I found regarding teaching profession is the typical attire carried by the teachers. I start breaking stereotypes regarding that also, because I was always carrying that viewpoint that if UGC, University Grants Commission, has given the code of decency, why should we be clinging, like, I mean, we should always be wearing our Indian attires? There is nothing wrong, but ultimately teacher should be wearing the attire that he or she is comfortable with. Why
Yeah.
teacher should always be
Dependency doesn't mean that it will come with the Indian clothes only. It can come with the Western clothing as well, in which the person
exactly.
is feeling comfortable. Right? True.
UGC has given the dress code of decency, and I start costuming, actually, in which I was more comfortable, because I am dealing with students who are around 18, 19, 20, 21. So they are adults. So, and
Right.
at times when I always used to feel, I used to feel like that. People were saying like that, sari pahan ke aane ka. At times I was feeling like, excuse me, in sari at times one exposes more. If UGC
Hmm.
has given the dress code of decency, ultimately it all depends up to how one dresses. And there were some of my actually teach what we say, I mean teaching fraternity people who were draping themselves quite well, but I was not made for that, na. So when
Right.
I start wearing costumes even as teacher in which I was comfortable. To be very frank, actually, I mean certain dress code meetings were conducted, but finally I went to the authorities and cleared my stand before them, and they too didn't have any problem. They too got convinced by what I was saying. So ultimately, whenever there used to be certain workshops pertaining to our UGC teachers or like, I was going in the attire that I was comfortable with. And see, initially it raised people's brows, but in the long run, it was accepted, na, and actually that way, actually it was considered to be an
And
indispensable part of my identity.
slowly, right?
Yeah,
Society
people
accepts.
start feeling like that is, I mean, this is the way that madam is actually means she is expressing herself. But that doesn't mean that actually she has left what we say left the task of acquiring or upgrading herself.
Right, right.
That is
So
the way I broke stereotypes. Yeah.
we also come to know that along with the education, you also give a lot of emphasis on entertainment section also, right? So, and you have given a specific slogan for that. So, what is that? Like, how you are trying to connect the entertainment with the education, which is a very rare thing.
Yeah, the very clarion call. Yeah, the very clarion call. Yes, yes, ma'am. The very
Right.
clarion call that I have given is edutainment. In the
Yeah.
sense, academics should not be limited only to these dry discourses in the form of just education. There should be delightful instruction. One can
Hmm.
instruct the students in a very pleasant manner so that they will not be drop out of the session. And I personally feel that if entertainment too has been an indispensable part of our life, to be very frank, during Corona time, when there had been total lockdown, who had kept us alive? Entertainment field.
Entertainment.
Go back to those Ramayana and Mahabharata. Literally, actually, I mean, those serials and those old movies, or like they had literally retained our interest that way. We could make
Right.
the situation during lockdown only because of this entertainment. Virtually also, these entertainment field celebrities, they were trying to keep themselves connected with the audience. So I
So,
personally feel if such is the case, if entertainment has been an indispensable part of our life, why academics should only be limited to those typical fatty books and all that. So during the time of
how
even
you
during the time of
entered this entertainment thing in your students? Like, have you done any specific activity or how it is?
yeah, yes. To be first of all, let me just start with my subject. That is, see, I am teaching business communication and communication skills in Abhinav College. So
Okay.
whenever I am whenever I am explaining certain points or like no, I always actually give instances even from entertainment. I always connect. Now see how the way public speech should be.
Hmm.
That was one point in communication skills FYBA class I had to explain. That time, to be very frank, I directly went to this Gangubai. How
Okay.
the way Gangubai, yes, how the way Gangubai had given the speech in public. See,
Right.
earlier speech, which the scripted speech given by that character Faizi to Gangubai. What Gangubai did that she just tore it and she just spoke out from her heart, and
Right.
she touched the very basis. So when I was telling that actually public speech, one should be confident and one should be pertinent to the point. The scripted speech given by Faizi Bai, it would not have what we say, I mean, that touch the sentiments of the audience. But the moment actually, I mean, Gangu Bai starts speaking from her heart, दिमाग वाला दिमाग बेचता है हमारा if our business is of body, then we,
Right.
we are trading the same. And
Right.
secondly, when second thing, when so confidently she just spoke out like that, when the anchor was introducing her, or was actually miss or mrs, she said like that, this lady is getting, anchor is getting confused, but we are living with confusion. So confidently she was speaking out. So then students also were saying, yes ma'am, you are right. And whenever
Mhm.
whatever she was speaking, it was totally from her heart, when she pinpointed the fact that we are maintaining societal balance. Since we ladies are there, that is the reason why your sisters and daughters are safe. The students
Mhm.
also even got convinced, yes ma'am,
Right.
public
They
speaking
get
means one should be to the point and one should be
mm,
reaching to the level of the audience.
right.
One
They get
should
the
not just be sitting on high pedestal and make tall tales.
right, right. So, like, as you said, that public speaking thing, that is also a soft skill, right? And as you
Yes,
see, as a teacher, our government of India is doing a lot of initiatives to, promote soft skills among the students because there is somewhere we are lacking. So, what you feel that how much it is important to have the soft skills along with that bookish knowledge? So, what do you
yes,
feel?
ma'am. I personally feel that there currently there has been a very hard requirement of soft skills. Soft skills will make the people more employable. What is
Right.
happening from current academics, actually, I mean earlier, at least into this in keeping with the syllabi and curricula, we always used to feel that, I mean, there had been just the emphasis on hard skills in the sense that typical, that is technical qualification in the
Mm,
form
mm,
of, that is certificates and all that. So I personally feel that I always tell the student, these hard skills will just be what we say given to you for interview, or you
it's
may
just
get selected due to your
it's
qualification.
time,
But
right?
this
Soft skills will be
Yes,
life.
but this soft skill will not just help you get the job, but even what is it will help you, it will make you employable. It will help you otherwise, I mean, retain the job and even soar high in your professional pursuits. That is what
Right.
I always tell them, because soft
Mm,
skill will make you more employable. You will be an asset for the institution. Otherwise,
mm,
in the long run, you will just be reduced to the state of permanently temporary.
mm, mm,
Always be on probation. It should not happen with you. So I personally feel that that currently there has been hard requirement of soft skills.
like the vocational trainings and other skills, right?
Yeah. And so under our career katta unit last year, we had conducted add-on course also on that is 21st century employability skill, with special emphasis on soft skills and all.
Okay,
30
okay.
hours 30 hours of course was conducted by us.
So, you mentioned just now about career katta. So, what is that? Like, and like, how it has impacted your life, your professional life, like how it has make a difference in your life?
Yeah, of course. Career Katta has been an initiative by Maharashtra government. That is what we say, I mean, that is MITSC, Maharashtra Information and what we say Technological Support System. And
Mm,
earlier it had been the what we say it had been the offspring of our former Education Minister of Maharashtra, Mr. Uday Samant sir. And this
mm,
career katta has been a virtual platform, and for 365 days it is on. Every day you will come across actually different activities, actually that too all virtual activities on this
mm,
career katta. That is, I mean, and that is an app. Students have to get that app downloaded in their mobile, and
mm.
for that sake they have to just pay 365 5 rupees, that too
Oh,
for 3 years, in the sense that is 85 paisa, 35 paisa per day. And
okay,
when
okay.
the students get enroll on that app, na, that membership is valid for 3 years.
Okay, so it is
So
an initiative of Maharashtra government, right?
yeah. And I am the coordinator for it for currently this year for Thane district, but for 3 years I had been for this Palghar district. And this year, because since I had completed my 3 years with Palghar, this year I am given this Thane district. So
Okay,
being
okay.
yeah. So under career katta now, see, actually currently there every day there had been certain workshops in order to make the students turn entrepreneur also, because career
Oh,
katta is of the opinion that why the students should be always confining themselves to this pain grinding task. They can at least, just as they can also become entrepreneur in keeping this in keeping this very insight only, we had even invited your workshop also. on
Yeah, I
11th
get
of August,
how,
right? Yeah.
how okay, so like that you can do different activities in fashion, entrepreneurship, or other various
Exactly,
platforms.
because earlier this year, last year, we had invited actor and entrepreneur Puja Ghosh, because we always used to feel that why our students should be limiting themselves only to academics or this competitive examination. If their genius is veering towards acting, modeling, why should they not be trying their career into that? So we had even invited last year in 2023-24, we had invited actor and entrepreneur Puja Ghosh madam. We had
Okay.
kept her interactive session. The same actor who had played the role of, that is, I mean, Hasumati into Tarak Mehta Ka Ulta Chashma.
Okay, okay, okay. That's really great. So, do you feel like this platform has made any impact on the students? Like, is there any change in their mental state regarding the different activities? Do you feel any kind of change like that? Like you are
Yes,
doing
yes, yes. Yeah, yeah,
so?
yeah. Even the students are directly coming and approaching us. Miss career katta kab चालू होने वाला है? Last year we had even conducted a 3 days ka, that is, crash course in Garba, in order to instill cultural sensibility, and our students start feeling that way. No,
Oh,
we should be what we say, prouding our own culture also. We should not just be what we say international in spirit. We should not be forgetting our root. So one should not just be global but local. That
right,
is
right.
local plus global, and so that way our students are maintaining even global mindset. One of our students, even because of this career katta sessions pertaining to competitive examination, she had even cracked this net examination also, and
Okay,
now she has been employing in a reputed college in Mumbai in political science. So that way,
okay,
actually, because of career katta, our students are becoming more employable now. Wherever they are going, they some of them are saying like, yes madam, thanks to your add-on course in employability skills, now we have learned that we should not be saying no to work, or for
yeah.
that matter, if we have to say no, that no should be such that the next year that person should come to approach us.
Okay, so like we have already talked about your education, your educational, your professional journey, and these things. We come to know that you are also a fashion enthusiast, right? And you have
Yeah.
already spoken in your interview, in the starting, that you have break these stereotypes in teaching as well. So, like as a fashion enthusiast, what idea or what thing you want to share with the students, like regarding
I
this?
personally, yeah, I personally feel that one should not be always raising broads with the very expression as fashion. One can make fashion to it with a passion, and even in fashion also, they actually there constitutes creativity. See, dress can be anything, your costume can be anything, but one should be in a position to carry it out very confidently. That
Right.
makes sense ultimately. Otherwise, what will happen in name of fashion? You will wear anything, but what is the point if you are too uncomfortable in carrying the particular attire?
Right.
So I
And
personally feel,
like decency in public places, that also matters when you are like doing any kind of fashion, right? Because in
yeah,
public it
exactly.
really matters, right?
So I personally
So
feel that wear anything as a fashionist, but carry it out confidently, and that too at pleasant. One should not be detaching himself or herself from the milieu in
right, right,
keeping with the set.
right. So your like idea of fashion is not just in the thing that wear the western dresses. It is just like more broad, right? Your idea of fashion is more
Yeah,
broad.
exactly.
Other fashion enthusiasts which generally attach it with the like western dresses, right?
One can carry Indian, and I always tell the students that way. Whenever our means, especially on my birthdays, I
Hmm.
always wear Indian, or for that matter Indo-Western, because I have not forgotten my root. I strongly feel, ma'am, that way. That is, on our birthdays, our forefathers come to bless us. So with due respect to their sentiments, I mostly wear actually means Indian or Indo-Western, at least on my birthdays. May it be
Right.
trendy, but I'm not forgetting the root. Or during a time of any, what we say, any festive occasion, I always go with our Indian. But whatever I wear, I always carry it out confidently.
Okay.
That's the spirit.
What's your always like go-to dress? like wherever,
Go to
like,
dresses.
right, right.
In
So
the,
what?
yeah, in college, actually, mostly I wear this tops and jeans. Earlier, it was raising my students' bros also because they had also come from their school background and all that. It was their
Right,
bros. Are college madam hai or she is a teacher and she is, but later, huh, but madam is comfortable into that. So now students have also accepted this.
right. They
Earlier,
have like
students were also having that impression inbuilt. जो टीचर जो आती है स्कूल में वो साड़ी पहनती है, सलवार कमीज पहनती है और ये
students,
मैडम
yeah,
से वेस्टर्न, बट in the course of time students are also got used to it, so it's not a problem. So now that is what I'm saying, that is people will accept you as you are in the long run.
right. True, true. Also, this has just you have started that change. So for example, if in future, if any other teacher also want to wear such kind of dress, like in which she is comfortable, so you have set an example for that person as well, because maybe due to some fear or something like that, maybe she is not trying to wear that kind of dress, right? So you also set an example for the students, for the teachers out there, and that's really appreciable.
Thank you
Also,
very much,
uh,
ma'am.
also, like you have mentioned that don't limit yourself. You always emphasized on that thing. Don't limit yourself. So, like, is there any personality with whom you like attach, or like to whom you will attribute to this quote? Like, don't limit yourself. Is there someone?
Yes, ma'am. Right from our Bollywood, our very local legend, Prissy, Priyanka Chopra, Miss World 2000, and now who is not just ruling Bollywood but even Hollywood also, who did not limit herself that way. I personally feel like that. She is not just an actor. She has been a producer. She has been an entrepreneur, and on the top of it, not only that, actually, she has not limited herself only to Hindi or English. She has even come with even many regional productions also. And on
Right,
the top of it, I will always say that actually, I mean, she is equally down to earth. She had opened her restaurant also, and she did not limit herself in the sense, when in Bollywood, that is what the inside story is. When the people, when all those Bollywood, so-called Bollywood mafias, they had done all ganging against her. She
right.
didn't get deterred straight, and at the same time she didn't want to fall into any controversy pit or like. Straightway
Mm,
because she had not limited herself only to Hindi movies or Bollywood movies.
right,
She
right.
straightway shifted herself to Hollywood, and there
She
now she is ruling.
she set an
She
example.
carved her leaf
You
over
don't
there
need
also.
Bollywood, like you don't need any Bollywood connections to get popular. Like, see, set the examples, right? So, like,
Exactly.
you are a fashion enthusiast. You love doing things by yourself and according to your norms. Your idol is Priyanka Chopra. She is a pageant winner. So have this thing ever come in your mind to participate in pageant, or like something like that? Is there something?
Yes, ma'am. I want to participate into that, into pageant. Let's
Uh,
see, ma'am. Actually, once I complete my PhD and all that, now currently because I am on the in the wrap up phase of my PhD, and now that way I will say Miss Universe India has already removed that age limit also. So
right.
after I complete my PhD and all, I will be officially trying my luck into this pageantry also. I would even like to be a part of Lakme Fashion Week also, if that
Uh,
edition is in Mumbai. Why I should
yeah.
be limiting myself only
You,
to academics or just imparting knowledge? I can also be a fashionist. I can also be what we say a ramp walker.
right, right. Like I can see that thing, that spark in your eyes for the pageants and for fashion. So it like straight out come in my mind that maybe you are interested in doing pageants or doing some modeling kind of thing. So have you ever tried this previously, or like are you going to try this for the very first time in your life?
No, ma'am. Earlier in 2012, I was selected by Femina as a plus size model, and it was an health issue. And that time earlier, I was tremendously body shame also, because what had happened was that actually because of all my actually studies and all, I didn't get time to just to take care of myself. So that I
Mm-hmm.
had gained some weight also, but after that actually I underwent strict diet and all that, and later actually what we can say is that ugly duckling actually into a swan. Such was the metamorphosis, and Femina had taken a note of it. June 2012 Femina edition I was selected, Hindi edition I was selected. as a
Oh,
plus size model. And that time I had literally posed before Samir Mantani sir. And the way I was sweating and all, and I came to know, Bapre, that is, I mean, giving such expressions is not a joke, which he was desiring. Samir
okay,
Mantani sir, that time he was connected with Femina Miss India. And he
okay.
used to do photo shoot actually for such established models and all, like Vanya Mishra, who was the winner the then time.
Right, right. So, like that's really appreciable that like you and right. Like it's really appreciable that even doing a lot of things, even being into the education, you are still aspiring for the different dreams, right? That's really appreciable. So, would you like to give any message to the students out there who are limiting themselves just with the few things, who are like, trying to absorb easy success by doing some kind of stuff? So लाइक इतना लाइफ लॉन्ग में जर्नी को लेके चलना और हमेशा एक किसी चीज के लिए एस्पायर करना, सो उस चीज से रिलेटेड आप कोई मैसेज देना चाहेंगे स्टूडेंट्स को, लाइक हमारे यूथ को बेसिकली?
Yes, yes, yes. I would always like to just tell the student that students, there is no shortcut to success.
हम्म.
Shortcut will only cut us short. So life is not at all like instant coffee, and success comes a long way. So in that also, if you want to attain success, I will say like that actually, I mean, be fierce, fearless, and be flawed. There is nothing wrong to be flawed, you know.
Right,
There is
right.
nothing wrong to be flawed at times, you know. Actually now currently in this era of marketing, that is, I mean, what we have to do is that actually smartness also matters. Mere hard work will not do. So always foreshadow your pros in such a way that the people will be ignoring your weaknesses. So the best instance I always give to the students to be actually like our notable Bollywood actor Rani Mukherjee ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the lacuna of Rani Mukherjee is, that is, I mean, her hoarse voice. But today, when we are actually just thinking of Rani Mukherjee, ma'am, we always consider her acting prowess. We are like in the form of the movies like Black,
Right.
Ayya,
Mm-hmm.
Mardani Girl, we always remember. We are ignoring this con of her, like to be her that typical manly voice. Or
Right.
for that matter, we can even turn our cons to be our strength. Just like
Right.
our notable Marathi actor Makran Anaspure sir. Anaspure sir, who stems from Bid. Sir, his lacuna was actually earlier, it was treated to be like his typical regional accented Marathi. That typical Bid slant. It was always raising bros, in the eyes of that elite Marathi circle. But today, this same con of his, he has turned to be his strength. And today, he is treated to be the, what we say, the very hot cake of Marathi film industry. So I always tell the students, like, there is nothing wrong to be flawed. Your own flaws only you can turn to be your strength. And last but not the least, actually, I mean, so I always tell people like that, be what you are at the same time. Don't
Right.
try to be what you are not, because the authorities are quite sharp to judge a person in a fraction of seconds, but at the same time, try to give the better version of yourself.
True,
Your
true.
cons you can turn into your strengths, or your the strong points you highlight in such a way that the people will be ignoring your cons. And
True.
last but not the least is that actually one should always be irreplaceable, and don't be afraid to dream, because dream is the picture of possibilities, na, with
Yeah.
fierce determination.
Thank you so much for joining us, for sharing your experiences in education, in fashion, and it's really an impactful session, definitely. And we hope कि जो भी आगे ये session देखेंगे आपके students या फिर other youth students, they will get some kind of a kind of empowerment, or a kind of thing कि how they can sustain in their life, and that was really impactful. So thank you so much for giving out your time and for joining us, and for joining our second episode of Her Story, Her Glory.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thanks for inviting me, ma'am, and I'm very much happy. And the students will definitely be profited. Who's not just my students, but whosoever is attending the what is, I mean, this very interview of mine, they will definitely be profited.